On this day in history, back in 2004, Martha Stewart was sent to prison for insider trading. Good old Martha Stewart. She sold 230,000 of I'm Clone one day before FDA disapproval. That is obviously a big no-no, but politicians can trade stocks ahead of major announcements, or in this case, the COVID crash of the last 2 years, and just get away with it, because obviously if you're a part of the government, well, you get a free pass. Now, that's just a fun fact I wanted to point out for you guys. What we need to talk about here in this video is what is going to move the markets this week. What is the price prediction for AMC stock? What can we reasonably expect? Because if you follow the chart of AMC, if you watch the stock, if you watch any videos, you know that AMC is at a very critical level. Look at this chart. Doesn't this show you that AMC is about to make a big break to the upside, or potentially big break to the downside? Now, we have a lot of FTDs that will need to be covered every single day over the next couple of weeks. And that is going to help, at least at the very, very minimum, hold us up at a decent level. I think it will hold for a decent level of support, specifically around that $15 price. But we got a lot to talk about in a very short amount of time. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. Thank you guys for doing that. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Let me know what you guys did over this weekend down below in the comment section. But nonetheless, what's happening this week? Well, we don't have a lot of economic data really at all. You have some bond auctions on Monday. Something I want to watch specifically just because I'm interested is overall net capital flows for May. It's not a big deal. The markets won't care about it, but I do want to pay attention to it. Now, Tuesday, you do have housing starts for June, building permits for June, housing starts month over month, building permits month over month. That is pretty much it. Fed Brainerd does speak at 2:35 p.m. Fed speakers will be important because we know we only have 1 week, 3 days, 1 hour, 42 minutes from the next FOMC meeting, the next rate hike. So depending on what these Fed speakers do, it will increase or lower the odds of a 1% rate hike that currently sits at 29.1%. If this goes over 60%, well, you're going to see a 1% rate hike. It looks like Fed speakers don't want to do a 1% rate hike, so I want to see if they jawbone that down or what kind of clues they give us, because what we've seen from Fed Bullard, Fed Bostic, and Fed Daly was this sense of they don't want to do a 1% rate hike, that 75 basis points is enough. And the tone of how they said things, the things that they said, like Fed Bullard coming out and saying that he pays very close attention to the yield curve inversion and that it's a serious signal to him. Some comments like that really make me think that potentially at the July 27th interest rate decision, the press conference with Fed Jerome Powell, maybe, just maybe, the Fed indicates that they are going to slow down raising rates or potentially stop raising rates for a period of time. This is something they talked about for September. So if they're going to stop raising rates in September or slow down, well, we're probably going to hear about it July 27th, maybe not until the September 21st FOMC meeting. That's around the midterms. Would make a lot of sense, but that is something very, very bullish. Anyone with puts wants to be watching out for is what these Fed speakers are saying, because if the Fed comes out and says they're going to slow down raising rates or stop raising rates at the July 27th meeting, if Powell says that, you're going to see a very violent market reaction. You're going to see a very strong upside move in the market. So that's what I want to pay attention to. But the main things the markets are going to care about, like I said, there's not too much economic data Wednesday. Really don't have anything. Existing home sales, but that's pretty much it. Thursday, don't really have anything at all. Philly Fed manufacturing data, like nothing that is substantial to the markets. Friday, you don't have anything at all. It's going to be earnings. Earnings will be key. Tomorrow, pre-market, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Charles Schwab. Those are going to be the main ones for the morning. And the banks did very bad, so I don't expect these banks to do any better. But Bank of America is like a $400 billion market cap company, so it can be important and it can move the markets. Monday and after hours, you have IBM. Tuesday, pre-market, Johnson & Johnson, Halliburton, Hasbro. Those are going to be the main ones. Tuesday, after hours, Netflix, JB Hunt, Interactive Brokers. Pretty much it. Wednesday, pre-market, you got the NASDAQ. You got First Horizon National Corporation, pretty much it. Abbott, nothing too crazy. Wednesday and after hours, you have Tesla, Alcoa, Kinder Morgan, Discover, Crown Castle. Some bigger players there, and I think it's obvious people are going to want to pay attention to Netflix, Tesla, Snapchat over this week, because those are really your technology stocks. Those are your more like stocks people really invest in now, right? A lot of us are not investing in Baker Hughes or M&T Bank or Comerica or, First Horizon National Corporation. People are investing in Netflix, Tesla, Snapchat. Now, on Thursday, pre-market, AT&T, American Airlines, Nokia, Dow, Domino's, Philip Morris International. Thursday and after hours, Snapchat, Intuitive Surgical, Boston Beer, Capital One, Mattel. Pretty much it. Friday, pre-market, Cleveland Cliffs, Verizon, American Express, Twitter, Next Era Energy, and that is pretty much it. So, big earnings overall. Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, Netflix, Tesla, Snapchat, American Airlines. Those 8 you could say American Express, Twitter, roughly 10 earnings. Those are going to be the ones that really move the markets, that dominate headlines. Now, we know that Tesla had its first declining month of deliveries for the last 2 years. Tesla's not seen a month-over-month decline in deliveries. So the markets already know that, specifically involving Tesla. But the question is, at all of these companies, how are the margins looking like? Are margins getting compressed due to inflation, or is the consumer just starting to slow down? And I think the obvious answer is a yes across the board, especially with something like Tesla that is so sensitive to interest rates. People are not really going out and buying cars right now. So I'm very interested to see how Tesla earnings do come out. And Tesla has a really high valuation. If their profits start to go down, that could be really, really bad for the markets. And that's the thing here. This upcoming week could be more bearish than not, just because we don't have a lot of economic data that could push us up. You don't have a lot of Fed speakers. You have one Fed speaker next week. You're kind of in that blackout period, and the actual Fed speaker is Tuesday at 2:45. I believe it is. Let's go ahead and look again just to double check. Tuesday, Fed Brainerd, and that will be important to pay attention to, depending on the verbiage and what kind of clues they give us towards the next FOMC meeting. But other than that, I don't expect earnings to be that great. A lot of people are expecting really, really high margins, really high revenue numbers out of companies, and they have basically not taken their estimates, their projections down. A lot of these analysts still expect record profits, record revenue, and that's probably not going to happen considering all of the bad data that we have been getting. So there is that. The yield curve starting off Monday is still inverted 20 basis points, so that is the largest inversion since the year of 2000. That was 22 years ago. The latest estimate for Q2 GDP that does come out July 28th is negative 1.5%. So we are in a technical recession. Fed raises rates July 27th. If they give us no indication that they're going to stop raising rates, they're saying, we got to get inflation under control, we're going to keep raising rates, we go into a technical recession. At the same time, that week of July 29th, you have pretty much Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. You have all the big players that report that week. Well, you're going to get slapped on the ass as like a 5-year-old kid in the markets, and you ain't going to have nothing you could do about it unless you have puts. So that's maybe a reason why you guys want to come join the trading community. Link down below in the pinned comment, because if shit hits the fan, well, hopefully you can make some sweet tendies out of that one. So now let's hop on over to AMC Stock and the Ortex data, because why we have $1.39 billion worth of short positions currently estimated on AMC Stock. As we do know, this number is probably $2 or $3 billion worth of short positions. Factor in those FTDs, and that's going to drive us up quite substantially. So just sit there and imagine sometime how that's going to look in your portfolio, once that $1.39 billion is spread out to all 8 portfolios, it's going to be a beautiful sight, and it's going to happen. So don't stress, don't trip, just breathe and stay calm. Estimated short interest of free float 17.95%. Free float out on loan 25.34%. Shares out on loan 130.61 million. Days to cover 3.2. Cost to borrow 11.6%. 100% share utilization. You do have cost bar max of 15.16%. Cost bar average at 10.8%. Cost bar minimum of 8.93%. And if you guys see right here, Thursday, the cost to borrow jumped. It was very weird. For a large portion of the day, the cost to borrow jumped to 186.24%. So I want to watch to see if a cost to borrow event happens and you see the cost bar actually move up in a big way. That could be a signal, and it would be a signal that AMC is probably about to see some substantial upside. And it's very interesting why that happened, because usually, like with a normal stock, that should not happen. So I think that's somewhat an indication of potentially seeing some bullish activity in AMC stock for this upcoming week. And like we called out in the last video as well, I mean, the last 20 minutes or so of trading with AMC, you've seen about $260,000 worth of calls go through that expire September 16th, August 19th, and July, was that July 15th? I don't know if that one is correct. That'd be like a 30-minute day trade. That would be wild. But nonetheless, I mean, you're seeing a lot of bullish activity. Even on Friday, 16 orders totaling $1.04 million, positive order value of 68%. I do think that is quite impressive considering what happened, over the last week. There was a lot of fear. There was the 1% rate hike went from not a probability to becoming a probability. Now it's not so much anymore. You had Russia shut off Nord Stream 1 and potentially a energy crisis over in Europe, and that would just be disastrous for their markets as well as our markets. So you've seen a lot of things happen last week, and you did hold that bullishness with AMC stock. If we look at this on a technical basis, that is what is very exciting to me, at least personally. You're really in this wedge between $15 per share and $15.59 per share. You're currently at $15.37 per share, so you're almost in the middle, a little bit above that middle level, obviously about 25 cents or so would be the middle. So you're at the higher end range, and we're just waiting to break out above the 100-day moving average. If we can get that break, then I would personally expect to see the stock going between $18 and $20 per share. I think you will find more resistance around $20 per share, if not the 200-day moving average. But that is my bullish case scenario, in between $18 and $20 per share, if we can break out above the 100-day moving average. Look at what happened last time around. Every single time you break out above a major moving average, you tend to make a move much higher. Look back here, even back to August of 2021, you broke out above the what was this, 50-day moving average at the time, and yes, you ended up going from $42 all the way up to $53. You tend to get big moves when you break out above the moving averages. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for, waiting to see if we're going to get that break above the moving average, or if we will hold support at the $15 level. If you fall under 15, well, you could get a pretty decent move down to the downside. If the markets just go to shit, then I would personally be targeting the 50-day moving average for support. That is at $13.01 per share. So that is really the price targets here. You're either going down to 13 or you're heading up to in between $18 and $20 per share. I don't think you will have a docile week. I think you will see a big move up or down. I imagine, given everything that we have talked about here in this video, that it will be a substantial move to the upside. The RSI at 60.51, the MACD extremely bullish, and you do have a lot of bullish things on a fundamental basis to look forward to. Think back to what Adam Aaron just said last Thursday, when really he kicked off this whole rally, and we rallied 15% in a single day. That was on July 7th. You had Adam Aaron coming out and saying win pounce, and you actually seen what was said on the last earnings call about exposing the shorts, about crushing them with a dividend, with a gift card, with an NFT dividend, something along those lines to really help force shorts out of their positions. Adam Aron said when the timing is right, they will do that, and obviously they are going to do that around August 4th. So there's a lot of reasons to be bullish. Even the fact that AMC just said they had their best week ever last week in the last 2 years. I think that is very telling, and it was driven by a lot of demand for multiple different movie titles. So there you have all of that information. That is really what I expect. I do think it will be bullish, but it's possible we get a bearish reaction if earnings are really, really negative. So leave your thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel on your way out. If you guys want to come trade with me live in real time, link down below in the description of this video. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.